All right, Feral family, I wanted to kind of give you guys a little video update of how Ike is doing with his training, show you a couple of things we're working on. He's doing very well. Ike continues to make good progress. I'm happy with him. He's actually kind of surged ahead a little bit, and I'll kind of show you what I mean by that with what we're working on with the next part of our formal training. Ike has done a good job of sort of toning down his or getting under control his obedience, and getting into a spot where we feel like we've got good control of him. Here, sit. The vast majority of the time, he's very compliant. He doesn't generally refuse me, and so that's a good sign. He's really making good progress there. So the next part of his training is what we traditionally call force fetch, which is the whole point is to simply get him to carry a stick or to carry an object in a very specific way and not to drop it. Interestingly, Ike has sort of kind of skipped ahead. Ike is actually driven more by toys than by food, which is kind of a bit unusual, but not unheard of. But we've actually, since I kind of figured that out, we've actually used this to our advantage. And I've introduced our fetch stick here as a toy, so he's really excited about it. So we teach this that way. It's in a very positive way. You'll see that throughout this, he's generally got his tail wagging. He's a happy boy. He thinks he's playing a game. He doesn't realize that we're teaching him a pretty complicated formal concept that we're going to build on through the next several weeks throughout his training. So the name of the game is pretty simple. We're just going to come over here. Good boy. Ike, here. Sit. And all we're going to do is just take the stick and put it right in front. Fetch. Now, he does actually a great job of reaching on his own. Fetch. What we're still working on toning up is that hold. Good boy. Hold. And we're still getting some resistance here. That's good. Good. Nope. Hold. Nope. Good. 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 Give. Good boy. So all I want him to do there is to simply take the stick in his mouth and hold it and don't drop it until I tell him that it's okay. Now, Ike actually does the hard part on his own and is still fighting me on the beginning part, which is actually, most dogs fight me on the beginning part for the first 2 or 3 weeks of this process anyway. So that's actually very normal. It's just very nice that he happens to reach and grab on his own. So let me show you a couple of reps of how we're going to add to this. Ike, here, here, good boy, good, good boy. Okay, so now after we get it in here, good boy, good fetch, and you go heel, sit, good, good fetch, give, good boy. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. Everything here is very positive, very simple, and all we're simply wanting him to do is walk across the yard holding a stick in his mouth. At this moment, I still have to support his lower jaw, which means, we're kind of helping him out, making him successful. But this is sort of the nuts and bolts, if you will, kind of the grind, the nitty gritty of what makes a nice gun dog, is so that he'll understand to grab the object when we tell him to and bring it to us without dropping it. So we're coming along really well. Let's do one more rep and we'll show you what it looks like. Hey, Ike! Ike, here! Sit. Good boy. Good. Heel. Good. Sit. Good. Give. And you'll notice there on that last rep, and we only just did a couple of reps here right at the beginning of our session, I'm not going to show you the whole 25 minutes of repeating that drill. You get the idea. But in just the first 3 reps there today, you already see him start to quit fighting me. That's very typical, and that shows that he's kind of getting more and more used to it. Usually as we go throughout his session, he gets a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more kind of, okay, this is what we're doing, and goes along with it. So all in all, Ike's making great progress. We're rocking and rolling. I'm very happy with him.